know y'all love this music. You know you like it. Testing 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check. This thing on. All right, we're on. But where am I? Oh, it helps. It helps to turn your camera on. And maybe some lights too. How about that? It's adjusting. All right, it's on. I have a new camera too, by the way. I finally got rid of the. I didn't get rid of it. It's still here, just in case. the webcam. I don't know what all these numbers mean. We got all sort of numbers. This camera does all the numbers, all the f-stops, all the yeah. We'll figure all that stuff out one day. Good morning, everybody. How's it going? How does this thing look full screen? Let's see. Warning, big face coming. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, you guys see a little too much here, right? Yeah. Look at that nice soft focus in the background, though. This looks like a real YouTuber's video now. And everyone that hasn't seen me in a while is like, oh my God, he's so old. But anyway, yeah. What's going on, people? How are y'all? Hope everybody's good. I'm having a terrible morning myself, but gonna try to get over it. Do some drawing. What's on my shirt? This is Garrus Vakarian of Mass Effect fame. He's probably doing calibrations at the moment. What's up, Aubrey? How are you doing? All right. So, good morning. No coloring on this stream probably today. So, for warning to everybody, if you're like here to watch a colorist color, you're in the wrong place. Now, we'll color this at some point. But, so you guys know, well, if you don't know, let me show you. Hold on. Let me get another window. Let's hide that. And let me show you what I'm going to be doing today. So this meme went around, I don't know, it's been around a couple times now. Whenever, I think, when Into the Spider-Verse came out the first time, this sort of made the rounds on the internet. And then it did again with, maybe Far From Home, got people doing it again. But if you don't know what a spider-sona is, which I do agree is sort of a dumb name, but it's just your own design, basically. If you were Spider-Man or if you wanted to do your own crazy design, that's all this is. There's a Black Widow Spider-Man, that makes our spider person, woman. There's a robot Spider-Man. So you can kind of do whatever you want and do whatever color scheme you want. But there's some really, really cool designs by much better artists than me out there floating around. But anyway, I want to do something like this. And I also wanted it to, I guess, be a bit of a challenge of the things that I don't like to do. Not really don't like to do, but you have to use your brain, actually, on, think like Drew Struzan posters. where there's like, where it's not like everybody's in the frame, these collage type things. I always, I get covers like that every now and then, and I don't know. I feel like I struggle with them a little bit, and so I'm sort of wanting to tackle that that issue, not really issue, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, and I haven't thought about this a lot. I did a sketch, a very, very rough sketch last night, kind of goofing around with this, but I don't really have any hardcore plans or anything. But Angela, hello. Nico, hello. How's everybody? Hope y'all are good. I don't know if the auto white balance on this camera is off or this is just what color my room is. I think it kind of is what color my room is. But before I get into the actual thing, I need to design this thing first. So, and I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, I don't think. But just something for fun to do today. Take a break. Is your spider sona going to be fully bearded? I think so. I think that's the only way to do it. This would, this would narrow down my secret identity, a little bit. I was like, well, he's a grizzled 40-year-old at least. But I'm going for a fully comfortable, functional Spidey here, okay? And so this is going to be, it's going to be as much me as I can fit on here anyway. Maybe your spider sona's beards is made from webs. I'm going to go ahead and veto that. Of course, that's where the web shooters are. Yeah, exactly. So my thought is, I feel like we have to have some sort of recognizable Spidey eyes. Like that's kind of like the bare minimum. But what I'm thinking is we do like the Captain America style mask here, where the nose goes here, and then this is all open so that we can allow for the beard. You know what I'm saying? Like this. I mean, to me, this is, this is pretty much as attractive as you can be as Spider-Man, I think, is, something like this. I mean, why hasn't Spidey done this already? That is the question. Because this, to me, is an obvious move. just let the beard hang out of the mask. And we'll definitely it'll have like gray streaks in it. Very much like that, you guys know that, the Ewok, like the head Ewok. You guys remember him? That's basically what my beard looks like, I think. What's the guy's name? Ewok. Some of you nerds know his name. Ewok. I'm going to find out real quick. Hold on. Ewok leader. Chief Chirpa? I say you nerds. You know what I'm saying. Is that the guy? Is that the guy I'm thinking about? I think I had this toy. Yeah, this guy. Oh, you guys aren't seeing this. Hold on. There we go. This is pretty much the texture and look of my beard, is this guy. All right. So basically this thing in a Spider-Man outfit. Here's one thing I don't understand about Clip Studio, real quick. I won't go off on too many software tangents today. But if I'm zoomed up like this and I flip the canvas, it should stay in the frame. it shouldn't like do what it's doing. You know? It's like, oh, I'm working on this. I'm going to do that cool artist thing where I flip the canvas, like, right off the canvas. And then you try to go back, and it's not even in the same place anymore. That's got to be wrong, right? Chief Chirpa is totally right. Yeah, I didn't know his name. I think Logray was the medicine man. Actually, maybe that's the one that I had. Logray the Ewok. I had one of these toys. See, this is the guy I'm actually thinking about. This guy is actually striped, and this is the toy that I had. Yeah, this is the guy. We're basically twins. I mean, see, you got the stripes here, you got the black here. I mean, his goes up a little up to his eyeballs. I mean, mine would too if I didn't shave it down, but we're close to it. This is going to be a weird stream today, I can already tell. Glad to see you online. Thank you, Cisco. I appreciate that. I feel bad for people that are just coming in like, what? All right. So, now the other thing we need to do, I guess we got to draw the rest of them. Of course, I'm very fit, obviously. And this is not going to be the drawing, by the way. This is just like a quick sketch for me to figure out what this thing looks like, and then we'll actually like draw some. Yeah, that pretty much looks like me, sure. What do they call these things, the character designers, when they do I'm not going to do a turnaround, but it's something like this. And we're going to label this design idea.
Fixed it.
Now, one of my favorite costumes, I'm going to try to combine my two favorite Spider-Man costumes along with what I like to wear.
Yeah, that's good.
Like you do. And so I am personally I'm a big fan of hoodies. I wear a lot of hoodies. I got a hoodie for my mom for Christmas. It came in late just this week. Isn't that Marvel Red Guardian? Does he look like that? Then that's what we're going to look like. My spider persona was inspired by an Ewok. It makes total sense. Well, you know, it's basically it's all about the beard. We got to get that right. But I like hoodies. All right. And so I think, and I also like Scarlet Spider. Okay. So we're going to I got to get my arms. Your arms have got to be free. All right. Scarlet Spider had the right idea. You cut the sleeves off. You don't want wrinkles. And you're trying to swing a web, and all of a sudden you get caught up. And long sleeves, you got to cut those off. All right, so that's what this is. We're going to cut those off. And then, like, here's the drawstring from the hood.
I don't know.
He's definitely going to have a hood because it's a hoodie, right? So this is going to do this. But my other favorite costume is the one that Ben Reilly wore with the big spider on his chest. You guys know that one? Let me educate anybody here on these costumes real quick. So Scarlet Spider, yeah, that's him. So we're going to do this kind of thing here, but it's not going to be closed. It's not going to be a pullover. It's going to be a zip up. So that'll be there. And then, but I'm going to figure out how to implement some of Ben Reilly. Is that his name? Am I just the right costume? Yeah, well, what? That is a horrible looking toy. This is the costume. I don't know why I can't find him in a comic book. There we go.
What was that? Sorry,
This
what
is a
did
very
you just
cool
say?
suit.
Did that
Like,
change?
what is this thing called? Does it have another name that I am not thinking about? It's Ben
Nice.
Riley. After he was a Scarlet
Suit's
Spider,
great.
if I remember right. Does anybody remember? Ben Riley is the Amazing Spider-Man. That doesn't surprise me at all. This is the costume though, sort of. This one. This is it. What do they call this costume? Anyway, I want to do something with that. Hey, Masato, how's it going? Good to see you, buddy. The 60s Spider-Man voice actor was Harvey, the elf dentist. I remember that guy. I want to be a dentist. Yeah. I got you. I believe that. I'm just going to believe you. You sound earnest. I saw your course you teach about comic lines. No, I don't. Actually, I don't have any courses on drawing at this point. At this stage. So what if we did like, if the thing's open? How dumb does this look? If we do like that, like the split spider. There's one you don't see done every day, probably because it looks stupid. But maybe we can bail it out. So what else would I have? I would absolutely have cargo shorts. That is a huge part of the high fashion sense that I have. I'm always on the cutting edge of high fashion. I would also definitely have, like, a smart guy, would have some elbow pads, some knee pads. He's jumping around. He's fighting people. I mean, you don't want to scrape those up. So, definitely
Excellent.
some protection on the joints. I mean, this guy stretches every morning before he heads out.
I'm not saying no. I didn't say that. Yeah, I think that's excellent.
Now, if you're just joining, this is just my design. After I do this design, then we'll actually we'll do something. I also will do the actual drawing. I also like the idea of that Ben always, like, his webs were not just, I was always a little dubious even as a kid. I was like, where do all those webs fit in there? That don't make any, So yeah, you gotta. I liked how bulky his web shears were because it made sense to me. It's like, this fluid's got to come from somewhere, because when I was growing up, Spidey's webs look like this. Like, here's his forearm. All right, something like this.
Oh yeah, it's gas.
And then you have his hand, that does this number.
It's
So
gas.
you had a button here, and it goes down to this, and then this wrapped around here. And then this went up, and then he had, like, all of his web packs up here. This is what it looked like when I was a kid. And maybe we steal from that. Maybe instead of putting this stuff down here, we do it up here. Plenty of webs. Not going to run out. Did the Spider-Man movies, did any of the Tom Holland movies, did he ever run out of webs once? Did that happen? I don't remember. I feel like it should have happened at least once if it didn't. Man, the people that are just joining are like, what? All right. So what am I wearing underneath this? I gotta do something here. He's definitely not gonna go, like, shirtless. All right. So what did I say? Yes, cargo shorts. Obviously, the next obvious move. Cargo shorts that are too long because you grew up in the 90s. And the idea of showing your knees in public is frightening. Which means they're going to cover up, they'll cover up most of the pads. That, yeah, definitely starting to look like me. And you got the big pockets. You can't really see much at this angle, but my guess is we'll definitely have little spider logos on these pockets. And then to cap it off, see, when I was a kid,
it's the same thing. The lighting is difficult.
Play,
I find it really tough.
Any NBA 2K, whatever, NBA Live 98, where y'all at? And I would always, my favorite player was Kevin Garnett, and he would always wear these big these leg sleeves. I played basketball also. I wanted to wear leg sleeves and had no reason to whatsoever. But I feel like this guy would definitely have them. So we haven't done a whole lot here in the way of designing anything other than the shirt here. But I do like the idea of him. You got to figure out how to handle what's going on underneath here, because I feel like cargo shorts with a belt. I don't know, man. It's not the look. Don't think it's the look we're going for. Yeah, and you also have to make sure they're basically hanging off your hip bones because you don't have a butt to hold them up. I mean, I feel like this is, yeah, we're all over it. I don't know why Spider-Man hasn't already moved on to this idea. Does he use conditioner? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, he had the Stark tech suit. Yeah, he wouldn't have ran out of webs with that. Kurt, you can add an overview intro video at your 40-hour class. What? I don't know what you're talking about. He runs out against the drones. There you go. I knew he did somewhere. Webcam is not on. Oh, it's not. Let's see. I wonder if there's a timer on that. Oh, it's not charging. The battery's dying. Okay. Note to self. Plug the camera up. Let me see if I can get the other... Oh, OBS decided to freeze. Am I still here? It makes perfect sense that the other webcam is not working because it is unplugged. Hold on a second, guys. me try one more thing here. I'll have to play with the new camera next time. Yeah, it totally died because however it's plugged in, USB is not charging the battery at all. So I've got to run another cable up there. There we go. That looks better. Okay, whoops. No, there it is. Get that over there. Yeah, I know you can still hear me. But yeah, no, the new camera just needs another cable run up to it. What does this look like if we... I really don't want to have to think about more stuff. This costume's already, like, pretty busy. So what if we... Yeah, we can see more of the webs this way, too. We'll do something like that, maybe? Yeah, and that way it looks like the, yeah, we'll do something like that. I hadn't quite figured it out yet. All right, I like it. And we'll do like, this will be like, we'll do some like NBA style socks and something like that. Yep. I think it just totally nailed it the first time. All right, so there's our design. Killed it.
Where's it gone? Layers.
If I watch all your videos on YouTube, I learn complete comic art. No.
Come on now.
I am a comic book colorist. You're going to learn a whole lot about coloring and nothing at all about drawing. Well, not nothing, but close to it. But no, sorry about the mix-up. If you're here to watch a pro comic artist, drawer, penciler, I guess technically I do have a cover out in the wild, so I am. But no, the channel's about coloring primarily. All right, let's move this down. I'm going to relabel this design idea, which will probably it'll get tweaked and adjusted and everything else. So my theory is to have like one big action shot of him like swinging across, and then maybe something like inset with him doing something funny or interesting, like smaller, and then do like the big head in the background, you know, something like that. How many department in comic art? I think you have some Googling to do, Mr. Creative. No, there's people that write, there's people that draw, there's people that ink, pencil, ink, color, letter, edit. It's a whole assembly line. Combine what you learn here with what you learn from someone like David Finch, you'll get close. There you go. There's your comic school for you, me and David Finch. His arch enemy would be Stick Razor, yeah. All right. I'm going to do a couple of little sketchy sketches, and then we'll get going on this. So, how much of his... I want to show plenty of his costume. How do I want to do this? Let's see. I'm just going to draw a bunch of poses, and then we'll see if any of this stuff works at all. like both of you guys. I learned a lot from your video. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm just playing around with you, man. But yeah, but no, it's cool, man. I appreciate it.
Dog food. Chili cheese fries. No way. Oh my days.
That's the thing with Spidey is he's so bendy that a lot of ways to.
Oh my days.
There's a lot of ways to do this. I did a sketch the other day that I really liked, and then I went to look for it, and I could not find it. I think I must have deleted it or forgot to save it, or my computer crashed or something. I don't know.
Mom, this is for your iPad. The Apple Pencil's failed. That's better. You don't need to charge it. That's yours. Really good. But you need to activate your finger. I'll show you how to. You won't be able to do it in Procreate until you activate your finger. So it's really nice pencil. I'm getting about 50 spare nibs as well. So you're overloaded. Yeah, enjoy the pen when you get the chance. Okay. You can fill out forms with that online. You know what to do.
He's too sideways. That's not bad, but I think I want to see more of the front. Yeah, if you're just joining, I am working on pose ideas. Coloring with Kurt's Spidey sidekick would be hoodie. Maybe.
back in my seat, and we're trying to get this internet going. Colour with Kurt.
So my theory is to have this be like, front and center. And then how can this needs to come down. Do like a big close up here. Beard down that way. And then I also want to get like a little, maybe this is all it needs, honestly. I like this. This doesn't look horrible. Bigger. This is the stage to get this stuff right, by the way. Don't do like I used to do. Like, I'll figure this out later when I detail it. No. Get it right now. Get it right now. I think skateboarder pics would be a good reference. Maybe. I'm not going to really use any much in the way of reference on this. I don't have a problem with reference, but it's almost impossible to get a human being twisted into this position in a way that makes sense.
and colorist is pretty much the heart of it. If you use color,
you guys can see this, right? Like, this makes sense. And then we need to, so then we'll do, what else do we need to do? We need to have, we'll do like a skyline through here.
he knows what he's doing.
This
Very intelligent young man.
cool down here. I think
That's not a bad drink.
This was the actual cover. This is all. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about this like it's an actual cover. It's not. Oh man. Use the 3D Perspective tool for any models. No, I don't want to. All right, I think this is it. I don't hate it. But when I flip it, I don't hate it. So that's a pretty good sign. All right. Can you guys tell what's happening here? All right, I'm going to lower the opacity on this. And we'll call this, this sketch. What is this? Oh, these are proposed ideas. I'm labeling all this because I'm going to make this file available for patrons later. And, this layer, nothing. And so we'll call this, sketch 2. Can you suggest how to do studies, like an efficient way of doing it? What kind of studies are we talking about here? I also don't know how to try to paint this and not, ink it.
Oh yeah, I got my
I
stylus.
need to get,
There it is.
it'll be a
It's
pretty
much. Look how big it is compared to my hand.
sketch.
Look how big it is. It's massive. I'd say it's the same length as, just a little bit shorter than an Apple Pencil. £5 for 2. £5 for 2, or that's probably about $7, $8 for 2 of these with spare nibs.
It never
And they
fails
do
if I go,
nibs
why
as
is
well
clip? Because
on Amazon. Yeah, absolutely incredible. And if you can see that, like I've been harping on about this, keep going on about it. It's nanofiber tip. Look how shiny that is. So smooth. Doesn't rub against the screen whatsoever. Amazing. And it's metal. Not sure what metal that is, but that's probably a little bit of nickel in there. Feel a little bit of nickel. Maybe aluminium. Maybe some trace titanium as well. I can imagine them doing something quirky like that. Really cool.
the other thing that I have found really, really powerful in Clip Studio.
I'm working on lighting today, as you might be able to tell.
Amplify tool. I'm
I'm
sure
trying to
I'm
get there
using it a lot
with this.
on this.
Just imagine a beam or an array of light coming out of the trumpet, but it takes a few tries. I'm not very good at it. It's my first day trying it. An array of light basically coming out and shining on it so I can get the shadows right. Because like I said, I'm not very good at shadows in the past. So I want to get great at it. I want to be one of the best renderers who ever lived. Better than Caravaggio.
With this, it's basically just integrated into the
the idea is to, instead of doing a bunch of guidelines like I was doing yesterday, is not to do the guidelines at all. Is to basically just get there by what the lighting suggests might be there, and uncover it like a marble, a sculptor working in marble will remove the sculpture from the block of marble, will etch it out. So it's the same precinct, it's the same principle. So I'm imagining, you can't hear me playing because when I play loud, when I actually make a sound, it's harder to see the beam of light. It's very specific. I'm going to try and master this art form so that I can work faster. So it's the tortoise versus the snail. It's tortoise versus the hare. You have to keep on trying. That's what I had to do. I had to try it, and then it doesn't work. I had to try it again, try it again, try it again.
Oh, this is going to be so ridiculous.
And I stay up till probably about, I might stay up again tonight. I don't think I'll even be able to get a nap. Stay up through the night again until my next parcel comes with my amplifier in it. Then I might go for a walk into town, but I won't take the red chair that I'm sitting my table on. I'll just take the table.
Yes.
It's going to be fun.
I mean, why Spider-Man has not already had a beard, who knows?
Obviously, the ambition is when you play a loud note, you can't see the stream of light. The ambition is to be able to play a loud note and still see the stream of light clearer. So strengthen your weaknesses.
You know what I mean? So like his mustache, let's say, is really long.
Let's have a look. That's cool. Yeah, that's gonna look good. That's gonna look really good. His head could have been tilted a little bit more, but I think his head's at a good angle.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Do you have a pack of brushes? I don't have any brushes, sorry. Any tips on how to make NFTs? What? You're in timeout just for bringing up NFTs. That is Zombie Spidey. Alright. Chat is interesting today. I'll say that. Interesting. I'm doing a little bit too much detail. I need to be building this whole thing out a little bit better first. Right.
I just saw a very clear picture, which I'm gonna show you with that little note that I just played. I saw a blue that was about there, and it was in this trench that I'm gonna show you, or it was around about there. So the whole picture is gonna be darker, but it was in this trench here, but I've forgotten where exactly I saw it. It's just an after image or a ghost image, I would call it, a phantom image.
Great beard comes great responsibility. There you go.
So I'm gonna just go back and see if I can see it a little bit more clearly. But the idea is not to pick up the Elzo, not to pick up the pencil, these stylus, until you've clearly seen what you're gonna draw next. That's how I want to do it. That's looking good. to show that he's always learning. Oh, but colour is the heart of everything. That's the best way to train. So what I'm saying is basically, I should be aiming to play a note, because I saw it more clearly when I played a note than when I was playing silently. It literally bounced to the screen. Like if I had the right kind of machine, it would be able to read that exactly what that note meant. The colour, the shape, the position, the attenuation, just from the sound of the note. That's what kind of computer should come. You shouldn't necessarily have to put a microchip in someone's brain to get them thinking along the right lines. But microchips can be important for people with spina bifida and all these sorts of psychotropic diseases. What time is it? Might go for another hour. I'm supposed to get some money this week. And I said I was going to follow McDonald's. I got a free McDonald's today for playing the trumpet. Got free McDonald's while I was waiting for this stylist to arrive. The women at McDonald's, so lovely, the area that I live in England. They gave me a free McDonald's. Sausage and egg McMuffin and a cup of coffee, and a coffee and an egg McMuffin with a perfect temperature. It was really nice. Really cool instantiation. Faithful Word Baptist Church. Really cool church, Baptist church. Really cool church in Arizona. I've never been to the United States in waking life. What was I going to do? Follow McDonald's on Twitter. Because they've got billionaires. Those people are billionaires. So they don't really care. They don't really care about giving away some free food. I think it was a young lady, really pretty young lady. She's only 18, but she's very pretty and very well put together. Little blonde chick. She was the one who offered me the free McDonald's, because I think I was annoying them. I was just standing in the shop, playing silently, memorizing the vowels, and I ended up going outside and they offered me a free McDonald's right when the police showed up. Terrible. So I have to put this. I don't get to use this until I've figured this, until I've projected the sound onto the screen. That's the new mission. Yesterday, as you can see, I had the stylus on the tip of there, but it meant leaning forward into the screen, which is bad for my back. And you can't really move your wrist as freely as you can with a pen. So it's not the best way. The idea is to get an electric trumpet or to project the image directly onto the screen with no hesitation, no latency. Could be done with Bluetooth, but it's just a listening computer. And that would be such a clever algorithm that it would lead to a whole load of other inventions. Very clever. This is Colour with Kurt. Colour with Kurt is a YouTube channel that I really like. Whenever it comes on, I click on it straight away. He does a lot of live streaming. Very clever colorist, and he's becoming a better. The drawing that he's doing is novel. It's very clever. He wants to draw his own comic book. You should follow him. You should check out his channel. He's got loads of subscribers. Colour with Kurt, like Curtis, but with a K. A very clever guy. If you're watching this in sometime in the year 2000, that's what I'm saying, in the century, 2000th century, 21st century, obviously Kurt won't be here anymore in the 22nd century unless he gets a microchip in his head, which I don't see him doing anytime soon.
Convert CMYK RGB.
But no one ever really dies, isn't it? That's the truth. No one ever really dies. No one. Everyone lives.
But it's got our character from Katha from
because he lives.
End after end deal. And then these are monsters. Also from Poker. So
I feel like it's better. I can see the projection clearer when I sit back. I was just watching a program where they were talking about fraudsters, an American inquest, in a high court. I like the way they speak. It's very urgent, very earnest.
So I'm going to take all of this and rotate it. So that it doesn't look terrible.
See, I saw a little bit of colour projected onto the screen, but it wasn't very specific. So I wanted to be more specific.
Any news as to where that variant current will be available? I need to get
Because that's too colourful. I want it to be, it looks like it could be some kind of internal component in a computer, which is what it's supposed to be. If you remember, it's part of the quantum computer, the navigation computer. So it has to work. Or it has to be seen to work. Like I said about the games, all the games they design, the technology works. They don't make a game if it doesn't work properly.
This is not how you're supposed to draw things. But yeah, this looks like he's actually moving around now a little bit.
What I saw then, as an after image, was I saw that this ball, this thing that looks like a kind of ball and socket thing, that it's a lot more black. It will be shiny and round.
Like its whole body's too small, I think. Like I was foreshortening to begin with, and then it got weird. I always liked the way Sal Buscema, however you say his name, did Spidey's webs. Like he always had like several loops of it like grabbed around his, like in his hand. It was never just like stuck at the end of his hand, you know. And ever since then, I've always drawn Spidey that way. I've always drawn his webs that way, anyway.
So as I've said, I can't use this until I've seen the projection. The Bible talks about that, talks about don't draw something until you've seen it on the paper or until you've seen it on the screen. Don't just draw because it feels good or because you've got something wedged up your butt. Draw because you've seen it. You've seen what it does. That's the way to get the best rendering, like the best 3D artists. That's who we're on competition with, those 2D people. We're in competition with the 3D guys. We learn from them. But you've got to get your rendering skills up. The only answer is colour.
McFarlane did a thing with the Ghost too. Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, I don't know where I saw it first. Sal didn't draw as much detail as
I'm going to keep on reinstating that. Kind of looks like a futuristic boat. That green bit at the bottom looks like some kind of rudder. But it's a quantum computer, so like I said, it should have loads of tassels and bells and whistles.
as originally intended.
And if it's for navigation, it should have some kind of antennae.
Yes, you see.
But everything is macrocosmic and microcosmic. The microcosm is reflected in the macrocosm and vice versa. Remember your training. Remember your training, Obi-Wan.
Just received a lengthy email from James Sinion's Substack about Christopher Chaos. Yep, yeah, that's a new book I'm coloring. I guess I can talk about that now. I think I can. But yeah, I'm working on one of James.
He's doing well. You'll see what happens. Once he gets his colours out, you'll see exactly what he's talking about, what the lesson is for today.
With Isaac Goodhart, which if some of you old heads around here remember, I colored him on Postal. What feels like 100 years ago. But yeah, I'm excited about it. It's a cool project.
So I saw something there, but it wasn't clear, it wasn't well defined. It was like a hollow image or an after image, but it wasn't well defined. I want it to be well defined so that I can basically draw it like I'm drawing still life. That's what I want. And I'll sit here until I get it, until it works.
I guess I'm drawing. Excuse me. I guess I'm using it pretty quick.
See, I saw a bright yellow in the middle of that kind of face at the top, that red face with the half red, half blue with the green back of his head. I saw a bright yellow in there, but why would it be bright yellow? I'm trying to get it darker, not lighter.
James say, love your work.
Unless it's like a hue, a golden kind of saturation in front of his face.
Like, I haven't read this yet. What are you reading? Let's see. Oh, I do have emails from him today.
It's not so much about making it darker, it's about making it the light more fluorescent and more ambiguous
I see what he says.
and more specific. So clouds of light,
Let's just
the
let's
Son
make
of Man
words
coming
up.
with the
Let's look up
clouds,
my name.
with more talent, more specificity, more skill, less disability. That's what it
Reached
means.
out to the incredible Isaac Goodhart, who's been leveling up like crazy.
We're evolving at an incredible rate.
Novels for DC's young adult line. True. To join guy loved when money shot. Yeah, he did. He told me. We had worked with Isaac on the Top Cow. Oh, he had worked on Isaac with Isaac back on the Top Cow series. Postal, thrilled to have him join the team. Awesome. Well, this is out. Yeah, I guess I can talk about that.
I didn't see much there, so I'm gonna keep doing it until I see something.
But yeah,
And in this way,
I'm excited.
the comic book could take a long time to do. About 10 pages could take about 30 years, but I'm willing to wait that long.
Next week is the release of the 10-page prologue. Yep, sounds like it. Or I don't know, whatever it says. the schedule on that is I think it's shifted up a couple times. So whatever it says is what's gonna happen.
But it will speed up. I'll get better at it. It's like Bob Hoskins taught himself to hallucinate for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, so I can teach myself to hallucinate. I believe this technique is how, maybe not with the trumpet, but this technique is how Michelangelo painted the Better Angel, or Da Vinci painted the Better Angel in that work by, was it Brunelleschi?
This pose. You really can't see any of the details on the costume that I wanted to put on here. I know how to fix this. Sketch. No, let's relabel this pose. I don't like.
That's the best way to do it. You should correct it on the same page. Revolutionary.
Let's try this again. So I want to see more of his costume. Maybe I should have saved his head. The head wasn't bad. Not that one. Not that one. Where did it go? Oh, this one. Let's bring the head over here. We don't need that. Sketch. Trial 1.
At that time, I saw a little bit of purple in between the jaws of that kind of lateral,
There we go.
of that kind of vertical sideways mouth with the white lips. I saw
Yes, there we go.
a yellow light or purple light.
That gives us a
Maybe
good
I should add the purple. It's the next stage, the next step was sufficiently clear to make me think that the message was from God. There's already some purple there, so maybe I was just seeing an embellishment of that.
Yeah, I want to see like more of his
I think it's the hexadecimal quotient that I'm antagonizing here.
See some of this. And maybe for now, I don't need that.
Sometimes it takes many tries. I can imagine on certain occasions it might take 150, as many as 150 breaths to get the next stage. So you'd ideally just want it to paint and know exactly what you were talking about on the first breath. That's how you want the computer to work.
I don't really like anything I'm doing. How long have I been on here? Hour, almost hour and a half.
Well, that time was very clear. I saw a grey box, and I'll show you where I saw the grey box. And I think that is the next path, because it's matter. It was very substantial and it was very clear cut. It was about that kind of grey, and it'd be a little bit blue at the bottom, but it was kind of here like a
It's almost
gable,
like the head's too finished for me. It's like,
kind of like gable like.
I really think it's messing me up. Let's do this.
So I'll go in and I'll be brave enough to section it off
So
to make it flat by grading it, putting a gradient in. Obviously when you're working with pixels like this, it's hard to get a load of detail. But pixel art, if you can make pixel art really fluoresce and really smooth, then you can work with polygons. If you can work with polygons, you can write a rendering engine. You can reverse engineer a rendering engine. But I think the video is getting kind of long, so I'm going to stop the video there. I'm going to take a little break.